Hey, I want to talk about a couple things today that I was discussing with a friend over the weekend, and I feel like it's super important for those of you who are on your physical journey, whether that's health, physical fitness, clarity of mind, anything on the physical plane. And I was thinking about how whenever we enter something new, especially when it comes to something that is under the umbrella of fitness or health, it's really hard to know what to do, and it's hard to know where to start and what things to focus on. I find myself thinking about that often. How do we get the most amount of benefit out of what we're doing for our movement practice? Not necessarily in the shortest amount of time, but what allows us to reach our goals a little bit more efficiently and a little bit more safely. I think one of the things that we can focus on right away is proper positioning of our bones. I find that if we work with our muscles first and don't really take into account where our bones are and our alignments inside of our bodies, then we can develop a lot of bad habits. In order to get a more well-rounded workout or a more well-rounded movement practice, we have to make sure that our structure is properly aligned and working. So I have a couple things that I want to share with you today that you can do to realign and reposition the pelvis, which in turn will radiate through the body and it'll give you better alignment of the spine, better alignment of the legs, a lot of good stuff. So come right along. Now, this particular methodology is brought to us by Starrett of Supple Leopard. He is just incredible. He's a very, very knowledgeable guy, and I've been following his work for many, many years, and he's inspired a lot of these things. Basically, his belief systems revolve around, at the bare minimum, we have to be able to be aligned and be safe. We have to feel safe in our bodies, and he does a lot of work around the parasympathetic nervous system as well, which we know and love. Here is a couple of things you can do if you've been experiencing things like back spasms or muscle tension in the low back, maybe inner abdominal pain, even upper back pain in the lat. These might work for you, so let's try it out. First thing we're going to do is grab a chair or something that we can put our feet up on top of. I've got this fun little compost box that I'm going to use because we're outside, and why not? But what we're going to do is lay down on our backs, and we're going to put our feet straight up onto that box, and we're going to allow our muscles to soften down into the ground. Now what this does is takes the load off of our back, off of our muscles that generally hold us up. All of these psoas things, everything in the back, everything in the front. This allows gravity to do the work rather than when we stand up or sit down, we still have to require our muscles to pull ourselves. So this allows for kind of a neutral space for us to explore these things. Now what we're going to do, just keeping our knees up off the ground, resting our feet on our chair, whatever it may be, and we're going to bring our right hand right to the belly. And we're just going to take a couple of deep abdominal breaths here just to relax and unwind a little bit. So inhale, fill up the belly. And we'll do this 3 to 5 times at your own pace. And as we do our breathing, I want you to feel as though every breath relaxes your muscles a little bit more. So we really want to release down as much as we possibly can, including the legs. So our legs, our hip sockets, all of these things that normally are active, we want to be able to release them down. Now once we're here, we may want to just relax here for a moment, and that's totally okay. This is a really great way to wind down after a long day or a crazy day on your feet. So after we take our time here, whatever you need here, we're going to take our hands and we're going to put them right on the knees. pushing away out against that hand. Now we're gonna do an opposite thing on the other side. So I'm gonna push my knee away with my right hand and pull the knee in against it. So I've got this sort of oppositional tension happening here. I'm gonna hold it for 5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, and I'm gonna release. And I can do that a couple different times, but first I'm gonna switch. So now the left hand is gonna push, right hand's gonna pull, my knees are gonna resist, and I'm gonna do it again. So here we go. Press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Good, and we can release them back up to that seat for a moment. And just take a minute to notice what's going on in your hip sockets, in your pelvis. This is meant to realign any imbalances in your pelvic girdle. So we're going to take a deep breath here. Good, and we're going to do it one more time. So pulling in on that left knee, resisting, pushing on the right knee, resisting, and we're going to take 5 seconds here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Good, and we're going to switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Very nice. Place your legs right back up on that seat. And we're going to take a moment just to release and relax. Keep belly breathing if that feels good for you. Very nice. Now, I know this is really subtle, and there's seemingly not a lot going on here. But what this is doing is it's making micro adjustments to these pieces in our bodies. And if we can make these micro adjustments and these realignments, it's sort of like going to the chiropractor, right? Except here we can do it on our own, we can feel out our own body's needs, and we can adjust accordingly, and we can do this right from home. So it's a nice tool to have in your toolbox. Okay. So after we take all the time that we need there, hopefully we're starting to feel a little bit better in our lower body region. If we had a spasm before this, it might subside a little bit, hopefully. From here we have one more thing that we're going to do, and this is generally done with a ball or some sort of resistance, something you can put between your legs. I'm going to be crazy and I'm going to use this wood block just to demonstrate it, but when you do it, make sure you do something nice and soft if you can. And we're gonna get back on our backs here. I'm gonna take this thing that I've got and I'm gonna put it right between my knees, and I'm gonna give it a little bit of tension as I squeeze, right? So I'm gonna relax everything down. I'm gonna have the same feeling that I had before in my musculature, in my bones. Make sure we're connected back to that belly breath. And what I'm going to do is squeeze my knees inside for 5 seconds. So I'm going to really press into that resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Good. You still want to keep it in between, but with a lot less pressure, because we're going to do it a couple more times. So take a deep breath. Exhale, and here we go. Let's apply some pressure again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Good. Let's do it one more time. First, we're going to take a deep breath. Exhale. And let's take our knees. We're going to bring them in. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Very nice. Let's take that item out from between the legs. We're going to shake them out just a little bit, and we're going to place them right back up on our chair if it's near us. And we're going to allow ourselves to relax. And can take all the time that you need here. Do a body scan perhaps. Just check out what changes, what shifts you may feel in your body. So like I said, I know it's a little bit strange if you've never seen this kind of micro work before, but it really does help realign all these little pieces, especially the pelvis. If you can realign these bones inside, if you can realign the structure of the body, then the muscles and all these other things on the outside will be more likely to work properly for you, and you'll just get your work done more efficiently. Your movement practice will feel safe, it'll feel comfortable. Hope you enjoyed this. We're going to be doing a lot more things that help us sort of reformat our basic structure, our bones, the things inside that may be unaligned from all of the little things we do every single day. We're going to allow our body to feel more safe, if it can be more productive, if it can be in alignment. All of these things are going to feel much better as we do them. I'll see you next time.